Hello. Today we're going to talk about pricing mistakes. In fact, the biggest pricing mistakes I see so many entrepreneurs make um, that I work with inside of my Profitable Business Academy and also my one-on-one coaching. This is universal, no matter the size of your business um, or how many clients you have. Universal, these pricing mistakes, they apply to everybody. The first pricing mistake I'm going to talk about is obviously, I'm going to talk about not charging enough. But how do you know what enough is, right? And I played around with pricing myself. And the fastest and easiest way is to know your closing rate, right? If you're in the 80% above in your closing rate. So what's your closing rate? Your closing rate is how many sales calls you have versus how many you close, right? Become clients. So if every 8 out of 10 you close, that's a good number. Um, Anywhere between 5 and 8 out of every 10, 50 and 80% is a good number in your pricing. And you can kind of feel that out a little bit. Um, if you're closing above 80% or 8 out of every 10, this is where you probably could increase your pricing and maybe you get like one less client, but you will now be working less and making more, right? That's what we all want, huh? So if you have a closing rate between like I said, 50 and 80, that's a really good rate. If it's below 50, it may not be your pricing. So don't jump right. Oh, my pricing's too high. Don't jump right to that. You also want to look at like your confidence, your follow-up. Are you reaching back out to people? Like all those things. And I talk about this in length and in detail inside my Profitable Business Academy course. And I also work on this intensely with my one-on-one clients to really get the best price point for their product or service. So those are just like the closing rate is one quick thing. The other thing I see happen all the time is making decisions for your clients. So here's what I mean by that. If you're making a decision saying, well, my clients just won't pay that without testing it, without throwing it out there, without making sure you believe in it, confidence is another thing. Um, if you're making a decision for your client, whether or not they will or won't pay for something, you don't know that. I actually had a client who is an interior designer and he was pitching. The client came to him, he was pitching to a contractor, and the contractor then gives him commission. So the commission he gets from the contractor, he told the contractor to cut it in half because he didn't think his client would pay that. The client didn't bat an eyelash. He was kicking himself that he went and cut himself out of 5%, hit 5% of his commission, and the client could have cared less. It was like, heard the price, was like, okay, great, let's move forward. So our money mindset around our pricing is different from somebody else's, especially if you're a designer and you're working with people who are wealthier. So don't make decisions for your client. That's the rule here. And make sure you're confident in your pricing. A lot of times there's a lot of business coaches I come across, and the first thing they're going to tell you is, oh, raise your prices, right? Yeah, I know. Raise my prices. What happens if you're not confident in that pricing is then you're not able to close the deal either. Your client on the other end can subconsciously feel that you don't believe that you're worth that. So that's again some money mindset that we get to work on through, you know, different things that I work on my clients with. That's money mindset that you get to work on, and then you get to more confident in a new pricing. So if you don't feel confident yet, work your way up, right? You don't have to double your prices overnight, like a lot of coaches want you to do. Work your way up, baby steps. Just keep raising them and increasing them until you do feel confident and you do know. And a third little trick, you don't have to raise your prices. You can reduce your package. I also advise my clients to do this as well. So if whatever your package is, you can make it less time for you and keep the pricing the same. That's another way. All things I've used, all things I've helped my clients with. So I hope this was helpful to you, and good luck with your pricing.